Okay, well, I am super excited because we are here to interview Ruth Vines, who has been so important in Nen Daiko's history, and we're going to ask her about some of her fond memories being with Nen Daiko. And we also have Emily Ihara, who is current Nen Daiko member, and myself, Carla Brown. We are current Nen Daiko members.
Yay!
Cool. Okay, so Ruth.
So awesome. Yeah.
Okay, let's
Oh,
see if we can go back to the beginning, 1994. When did you first hear about the idea that they might create a taiko group at Ekoji, and what were your thoughts when you heard about that?
well, actually, I think the initiator of all this was Beth. She had a vision and she jumped at it. She was the one that really got everything started. So, and I just joined the bandwagon and I wanted, to have something like a taiko group or based at the temple as kind of a sangha of taiko players was just really intriguing to me, and such a the initial approach to it I think was very Buddhistic in its direction, and it kind of helped to have Sodaiko and Hodaiko as kind of like our mentors too. So yeah, they're the ones that really helped us push forward. So, but Beth, I think is the one I just went, oh, okay, taiko group, okay, let's do it. That kind of thing. So I'm the cheerleader more than anything else. I even have pom poms.
Oh, I mean, you need people who are enthusiastic, right? You can't do it by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
especially not taiko. You need
Mm-hmm.
enthusiastic people. So I'm sure it was
Mm-hmm.
critical that you were into it. So did you have sort of any experience or thoughts about taiko before this? Like, had you seen it performed? What were your thoughts about taiko as an art form?
You know what? I'm you're asking me things like in 1994. So, I in thinking back on this, I'm not really, I don't think I had that much experience in even attending a taiko performance at all. I knew that they would use it for obon, but not, any kind of kumi daiko form or anything. And I think that was all introduced when we connected with Sodaiko. And they were the ones that introduced all of that concept, and not so much the Buddhistic side, but I think more along the lines of a community, a sangha of taiko, and so and their approach was pretty neat. Although we just felt totally lost when we had our initial workshop with them, but it was, I think, motivating for us to grow and make it something special for the people initially, for the sangha of Koji. And then it grew into something else,
It did.
which is
Oh,
pretty
30 years
cool.
worth of
Yeah,
something else.
I
So
know. It just seems so
you've mentioned a
crazy.
few times that you really loved that the approach was a Buddhistic approach. Can you talk a little bit
Mm-hmm.
about what that means to you?
I think that more than anything else, and it puts it into perspective for me, is things that uh, I think as a group, um, I think that just within our own temple here in San Luis Obispo, that Sangha or community is a really important thing to me, which I miss a lot at Nen Daiko, because we have not hosted as many parties as we did when we were back in Virginia.
Was the queen
It was,
of
I mean,
parties.
you just wanted to be with all of you, or I wanted to be with all of you all the time, because that was family essentially. And the Buddhist part of it is what puts it in, what grounds me is that, if you are playing something and you really just don't do a really good job at your particular part of taiko, that to let it go, it's past, you learn from it, and just keep moving forward. Because I think initially when we started, if I made a mistake, it was just like really upsetting to me. But when you start thinking of the Buddhistic approach of at that moment that's happened, and let it go and then move on. So that's a good part of it. And then the people around you, the energy around you, just taking it all in at that moment. So I have to think about that sometimes. Actually, I have to think about it a lot, just so that I can get through a particular performance or a particular piece. And what else? That nothing stays the same. I'm using all these Buddhist things that I've learned since I was a kid, but that nothing stays the same. So every situation is different, and the way you accept it is really important too. So I don't always accept it. That's what causes me suffering, but not too bad.
Well, those
are the
great
things you strive for.
Yeah, that's really good reminders for all of us when we play, I think. Very cool. So if you could try to remember back then, what were some of the challenges in the formation of Nen Daiko? What were some of the things that were difficult or obstacles the group overcame? Or was it just super easy and wonderful and no problems?
Well, you know what? There were growing pains, certainly. I think initially, again, I keep using the word initially, you can cut that out. But from the beginning, just finding teachers or learning things, we depended a lot on Daiko coming down. And if I finally said, okay, this is the last time we're coming, because it was a drive, or for us to go up there. And then, so there really wasn't an instructor. We're all just kind of floundering around. But after Greg finished school and he came back as our artistic director, we had a lot more guidance. And at least I don't think we had a direction initially. So, we were just a Buddhist taiko group based at the temple. And then things grew from there. But it took a while. And, and it takes you some time to decide as a group where you want to go. Do you want to be a performing group? Do you just want to be centered here and just keep the activity here? So I think that's all part of the growing of Nen Daiko, I think. So
Cool. And
there you go. And then we had people like you and Emily who joined, and just our natural leaders. And, I think because we didn't have any of that, we did have that, but people coming in and just offer their particular strengths or their personalities and just make the group better.
Yeah, certainly as new people join, the energy, it's a great energy, each new person, each new iteration of Nen Daiko. I wonder if you can tell us, if you remember, was there a certain part of playing taiko that you found particularly wonderful? Was there something about that part of the...
My background through high school and college was playing clarinet for wind ensembles and wind symphonies and the local college chamber orchestra, that kind of stuff, which was okay, and I was okay at it. It was not a big, Cal Poly is not a big music school, although it's starting to add more performance majors. But what I love about taiko is the fact that you can actually perform physically, and the joy of playing taiko for me is how I react when I'm playing. So there's a lot of facial animated faces that I will make when I play. And physically, it's just a joy. It just feels so good inside to do that. And then to do it with a group of people you really, really love. I mean, that's pretty much how it works for me, and the energy that is kind of brought out by the people who are with you. That's why I'm exhausted all the time after playing. There's so much energy that I'm drawing in and pushing out that it's draining, but wonderful.
So we've talked about this before, but you wrote some of the songs that Nen Daiko still plays today. And for example, Satori no Michi, which is like, we have been playing it a lot this year. So we're thinking about you a lot this year. So can you talk a little bit about writing songs and what you brought from yourself to write those songs?
That particular one, I guess I was looking at it from the standpoint of being Buddhist and bringing taiko into it and music as well. So I think that was my motivation for that particular piece, to kind of share, I guess, the connection, I guess, to taiko and Buddhism. I think that's how it went. I love the way I wrote it. Okay, this is where the taiko, the daiko plays 8 bars of solo, so just play something. And they go, you didn't write it down? I go, no, I just do it. So, so it's good you guys wrote it down. I haven't even, I think I have like the basic idea somewhere in my taiko reader about how I constructed it. But, as far as rhythms and stuff, I remember the fue part and how it broke down, but everybody goes, are you gonna ever teach that? And I go, I don't remember how it goes. So I may have to revamp it myself. So, but yeah, I think that was Satori no Michi was how I viewed Buddhism and taiko together. I think that's the only way I can answer that one.
So sometimes some of the best stories are when things didn't go perfectly as you had planned, but you had to improvise or you had to figure something out and it all worked out in the end. So do you have any stories like that where you had to recover from the situation?
The only the thing that came to mind, not so much, I think it was just the circumstances. We did a Tidal Basin performance for the Cherry Blossom Festival, and it was in April, and the cherry blossoms were all gone, I think, by then, but it snowed, and it was incredibly cold, and we were in our haragake, and nothing to keep us warm. And I remember people sitting in front of the Jefferson Memorial in ski jackets and hats, and the snow coming down. And I remember we were trying to do the meditation before we play, and Greg goes, let's just play, because he was freezing. And I think we all pulled muscles that day, just because it was so cold. But in retrospect, it was so funny after we were all warmed up. But that, for some reason, popped into my head about that particular performance. And there was another year where we played in the same spot, and we played Manli Onre, and we had this vision of how we wanted it to come off, but the drums were so far apart in distance that we were never together. Other than that, it was just fine. I mean, eventually, when we all got together, it came, we started playing together, but it was just so, one of those memories where you go, that was so funny. Now,
It's so
Yes.
funny, Ruth, that
And
you bring up that performance because when it was snowing, because I've answered this question as one of my favorite performances. So I don't remember, I mean, I remember it being cold, but I also remember the snow and the sakura falling at the same time. And it was like
oh,
amazing. It was so
it
beautiful.
was amazing, but so freaking cold.
It was cold,
Yeah.
yes.
But and all I remember was we have to get somewhere where we can warm up again. But and then look at it, see, your perspective is so different from mine. You know, I looked at it because it was so cold, and you were going, it was so beautiful. And it was. I thought all the sakura had fallen by then, but maybe not. It was just kind of a weird, for the snow to come down at all. It was just a real surprise, actually. But
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. I don't think, not since I have joined, did we have snow during performance. Like, it is rare. So,
Well, we had hail that one year.
oh no, that's
What's your favorite memory, I guess, of Nen Daiko not playing?
not playing?
You know,
What, you
we have
mean
so
like,
many memories. What's your favorite memory?
yeah,
We have
but
so many memories of you. So,
oh, that's frightening. But I about 2 days ago, Steve goes, "Did you pull out that memory book that Emily made for you?"
yes.
I know, and I was looking through this, and I was going, "Oh my God, oh my God!" I mean, there were just so many wonderful things, and I think again, more than anything, was that I remember so fondly is just being around all of you. It is, that's, I think, I don't miss the weather back east. I don't miss working. I miss Nen Daiko. That's
Nen
the
Daiko
part that I
is
miss the
beautiful.
most.
Yes.
That's what I miss most of all. And that's the thing that I take back with me. And looking through the pictures going, oh my God. And some of the things I said that you included, I was going, oh yeah, I did say that, didn't I? Or just, and just looking back at everyone and looking, seeing Sachiko and the girls have grown up so much, and Greg stays the same. I don't think he ever changes. But and then when Carla said that there have been 60 people that have come through Nen Daiko, I had not a clue. So congratulations to Nen Daiko on your 30th anniversary. That's so amazing. I am so happy to be a part of the group, and I appreciate Carla and Emily kind of including me into this whole celebration of Nen Daiko, and just to tell you how much I love you guys and how much fun it is to see what you're doing. It's pretty neat. And thank you for keeping me in your thoughts, because you're in mine all the time.
So we talk about you all the time, Ruth, because you were such an integral
Oh,
part of Nen Daiko, and really, no, you have been, and definitely in my life for sure. But I think you helped shape the group. So
no. Oh
yeah.
no, I think, oh no. Again, it's a group effort. Everybody was just a part of that, and that's the glue. Everybody's the glue. It's like that. So yeah, fond memories.